Okay, so I'm looking at the time. I still have 15 minutes left or less, I see. I'm moving to, well, something that is closely connected to demo programming, that is game programming. Another hobby of mine, and well, it takes even more stamina to finish a complete game on the Acorn machines, or any machine. And I'm thinking I'm starting, well, easy with a existing game from Dave Footed, and that's Mountain Panic. And I got the crazy idea, okay, what if, again, the magic question, how can I possibly make this cool game work on the Acorn Electron, knowing that it's in a slow mode number 2. So yeah, this is the original Mountain Panic by Dave, like I said, and we have art and a publisher, of course, Dave, another Dave, I'm going crazy with all the Daves here, from Retro Software. I want to show you the original game in case you haven't seen it before. I think I didn't include the sound, but it's just the game running here. Yeah. As you can see, it's, well, impressively smooth. You have snow, you have enemies, you have a really cool, how do you say that, surrounding environment. This is the entrance to a cave. It's all really mysterious and, yeah, fun. And I'm just showing you a small part here. 2 enemies, 2 snowballs. And our little player is going to collect a rope, which is, I think, a unique feature of this game. You can actually, yeah, pitch a rope into the ceiling, like I call it. And I will show you here in a few screens. And this is mode 2, a modified mode 2, actually. And this is where we pitch the rope and we drop down into the cave. So this is the original Mountain Panic. And of course, I'm thinking, okay, so how is the game made? It's a custom mode 2. It's not 160 by 256, it's 128 by 256. And that saves a whopping 4 kilobytes of screen memory. And that's really useful. But it's not possible to do that on the Electron. It's only possible on the BBC and the master. We have a playfield of tiles, 16 by 16 pixels. And of course, on the BBC, we have a full CPU speed in every mode, including this modified mode 2. Cool sound effects due to the sound chip and Dave's programming, of course. And fortunately, the source is available on GitHub. So that's my starting point. Of course, so where do you start converting a game, porting a game like this? You play the game. You want to see what's going on, what's all about, is it fun? Do I want to play this on the Electron? So yeah, it ticked all the boxes for me. I'm thinking, okay, let's explore the source code. And that's what I did. And I'm slowly building the Electron version of Mountain Panic. And for a long time, I considered, okay, mode 2 could be impossible because of the speed, the enemies moving and the colorful graphics, etc. So I'm thinking maybe I should go to mode 5. I could do double screen buffering, etc., etc. But then I'm thinking, okay, this is not going to work because the game is really colorful. You have different color palettes. I don't want to destroy the game while porting it. So I decided to stick with mode 2. And of course, I will have to deal with the crippled CPU and have to find a way that every cycle counts in this game on the Electron. I had to modify the screen layout a little bit because my resolution is still 160 by 256. I decided to move everything to the left of the screen. I will show you in a minute. And I decided to use, as you can see in many Electron games, I decided to use a few scan lines of the screen for data. Considering Exile or Citadel or whatever, they all use the screen for data storage. I found that I can actually, by clever programming, I can hide those 56 scan lines, but it's not for free. It takes time, it takes very special timing, etc., etc. And I decided to disable it for now because I cannot get it stable enough on real hardware also. Maybe I will investigate a little bit later on, but I skipped it for now. And I think it looks pretty cool anyway. So I read out the joystick support and the sound for this moment. I'm focusing on sprite plotting, speed. I also tested data compression because Dave included PU crunch for tile set compression, and it works really, really well. But I found, while porting, I tested Exomizer, I tested PU crunch. I found if you collect the, the compressed data and the buffer for uncompressed tile set and also the decompressor, it actually takes more space than if you just include the uncompressed tile data. So that's what I did. I kicked out all compression software and I just included the uncompressed tile sets, and it takes less space. So that was pretty cool. This is my work in progress. Like I said, you can see on the right that, no, actually I'm going to show you right now. There's no sound, like I said. On the top, you can see the 56 scan lines of data. On the left, you can see the modified health bar items and the things you collect, the stars and everything. I think it's still moving pretty smoothly. The snow is smooth, the player is smooth, the enemies are reasonably smooth. What you cannot really see on this video is that if the player is at the top of the screen, like right now, you still have some sprite flicker. And if you pay attention, you see that he's not moving left. He's doing a moonwalk because I have ripped out the sprite mirroring for now. This is just the same sprite as if you're moving to the right. And we also have the rope is still there. We can drop down into the cave. It's all reasonably smooth. Remember, this is still mode 2, which is really slow on the Electron. And we still have the enemies. We still have the sprite player. And I'm using a different kind of sprite plotting. If you pay attention at the top of the screen, you can see that I'm actually storing and restoring the background here. And this is the end of the demo. Work in progress. It's not finished yet. I'm working on rewriting much of the code because I want to optimize it. Where it's not needed, it's possible that it's not needed on the BBC version. It's definitely needed on the Electron version. I have to optimize as much as I can. I shortened tables, I optimized snow plotting, sprite plotting, everything I could find. I optimized that. Of course, I introduced hardware keyboard scanning. It's completely different than if you do it on the BBC. And I'm focusing on the player sprite plotting for now. I'm actually, the original game by Dave is redrawing up to 4 background tiles, if I'm correct, Dave. But that's just too slow on the Electron. So what I did, I'm actually storing and restoring the tile, the 16 by 16 pixels that the player is actually on at the moment. And that takes some really different sprite plotting. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not creating a mask or a mirrored sprite on the fly. I'm doing it on demand because the frame of the player doesn't change every time. It changes every few frames. So I'm recalculating the mask and the mirrored sprite on demand, not every sprite plot. So that's faster also. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can find a solution, but I still have some sprite flicker if the player is near the top of the screen, because you're trying to do all of this during vertical sync. So here's a surprise, and this is by courtesy of Dave Moore, yet another Dave, I'm sorry about the Arcadian, retro software. He made this mock-up, yeah, there's an inlay for a real floppy version of Mountain Panic, the Electron version, which of course has Dave Footed's name and also my name. I'm really proud of this. It looks really cool. And I can't wait to have a few of these published in a real physical format. So hopefully coming to an Electron near you in the future.